No, Bamidele.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bamidele, are you hearing me?
I can hear you, sir.
Good evening. Thank you. Thank you for being on time. Hello?
You can.
I can hear you. Hello? Hello?
Loud
Hello?
and clear, sir.
Oh, great. Oh, great. I'm hearing you very well also.
For being on time.
So you coordinate the meeting, you and the other chap I have seen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you coordinate and you give people as much time as possible. How many hours did you set this meeting?
2 hours.
So 2 hours, right? So I will do my best to summarize my brief so that you can take over and then allow people as much as possible. And you record all suggestions and so on and so forth.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Loud and clear, sir.
Oh, great. Oh, great. I'm hearing you very well also.
For being on time.
So you coordinate the meeting, you and the other chap I have seen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you coordinate and you give people as much time as possible. How many hours did you set this meeting?
2 hours.
So 2 hours, right? So I will do my best to summarize my brief so that you can take over and then allow people as much as possible. And you record all suggestions and so on and so forth. Hello, Bamidele.
Okay, we want to welcome everybody to this meeting. We thank you all for coming as we scheduled for this meeting to hold by 8 o'clock. And the purpose of this meeting has been widely circulated. We want to have a deliberation on the public hearing and the new date for the public hearing for the Microbiology Council of Nigeria. The president, Professor M.B. Yerima, will chair the meeting. Other NEC members will also join in. And we will give room for people to ask questions regarding this public hearing. And the purpose of this meeting is actually to create awareness for everyone regarding our commitment, financial commitments, and also our attendance, if needed, at the public hearing. So I will welcome Professor M.B. Yerima now, who will come and make his opening remark.
Thank you very much, our dear PRO. I thank you for, finding time out of your tight schedule to organize this meeting single-handedly. And I also thank other NEC members who, in one way or the other, have supported this struggle. It's a collective struggle, and even non-NEC members that are always there for us, because I receive calls almost every day. It appears our members are really tracking the progress we are making, and I'm very happy about that. And I tell you, that is the source of encouragement for all of us at NEC, because when you embark on a struggle and you realize that your people are with you, then you will always do your best, so much so that you prepare to use your last chance, last blood, to lead everybody to success. I'm very happy with everybody. I just want to report that the unprecedented membership drive that this struggle has generated is overwhelming. In the last 2 or 3 weeks or so, especially when the Amadi-led mobilization committee started working, and that of the PRO also, who has been interacting with members on our various platforms, I think over 100 members, new members, have joined the society. And going by the statement of accounts, which we occasionally obtain from the Zenith Bank, it appears the response is also quite remarkable. Ladies and gentlemen, for the benefit of those of you that have joined us recently, and even those old members that have been with us, let me use the opportunity to brief you on the journey so far, so that you can understand that this is the last chance we have, and we cannot afford to really miss it. This struggle started 17 years ago in the University of Benin, when Professor Nduka Uraya was the president. He believed in one of our NEC meetings. He said, no, there is no way microbiology can be relegated to the background. And the only way we can bring out microbiology is to actually look for a council in the National Assembly. So since that time, a committee of 5 was formed, and the committee started working 17 years ago. We came to the National Assembly at that time. The first senator to start to champion the bill was Senator Aloysius Etok from Akwa Ibom State. We worked with him closely. We spent a lot of time and money then. Unfortunately, when electioneering came, he lost election and he couldn't come back to the National Assembly. He was one of the most powerful senators in those days. He was the chairman, Rules and Business, Senate Committee on Rules and Business. And that was why we felt that he would be able to champion the bill and get us to the promised land. In addition to that, his wife is a microbiologist. So we went through that window to convince him to accept. And he really accepted, and he did his best. But now, since he could not come back to the National Assembly, there was no way he can continue. So we had to start shopping. That is what is called shopping in the National Assembly. You shop for senators whom you feel have a clout to champion a bill like that. We got one, and the senator actually is Senator Barao Jibril. Senator Barao Jibril is fondly called Malia, meaning ocean or sea, because of his disposition, political disposition. A very strong and well-respected senator in the House. He represents Kano North constituency, very intelligent, young, and organized senator, a senator who most senators respect. Senator Barao took over after the 2 attempts made by Aloysius Eto. He pushed. The best he could do in the first time was to push the bill to second reading. Unfortunately, electioneering again came. Electioneering in Nigeria is such that a year or 2 before the main election, people will have to be busy, with their constituencies, to mobilize their people, to actually send them back to National Assembly. In spite of all these things, Senator Barrow stood with us. At a point, the committee can bear me witness. When we met him in his office, he said, this bill, he assured us that since we lost in the last dispensation, that he will start early in the next, legislative year, that is the 9th Assembly, and he promised to us that he would deliver. We thought that since he came back, he would be able to continue from where he stopped. Some NEC members that are part of this meeting can vividly remember what he told us, that legislative procedures are not done de novo. Whenever you lose, you have to start afresh. We concurred with him. We thanked him. So immediately he was re-elected back. We are lucky he was re-elected. So immediately he was re-elected back. We mobilized ourselves again and we moved to him that Senator Barao, we are here again. Why? Because we feel microbiology is a very important course. In fact, it is a star program anywhere in the world. So we have to understand that there is no university in Nigeria that do not offer microbiology as a course. And anywhere you go in the world, microbiology becomes the basis of so many other courses. Like we can imagine medicine without microbiology. You can imagine biochemistry without microbiology. You can imagine engineering, without microbiology. Even the so-called biotechnology that is seen as a messiah of the world's problem today, the basis of biotechnology is microbiology. Because microorganisms provide very useful products that can enhance the welfare of mankind. So we made him understand. Senator Barao, in his characteristic way, he told us that come back next week, I will read your bill. We went back. When we came back the following week, his legislative aide told us that our bill is listed among the bill to be read today, and we were even invited to, stay in the lobby in the National Assembly to witness the reading. That happened. That happened. We witnessed the reading of our bill and so on and so forth. We waited for him. Late evening, we met him in the office to thank him immensely for fulfilling his promise and for showing us really that he's with us. So we were waiting for him to read the bill the second time. Again, COVID-19 struck. And you see, COVID-19, destabilized a lot of things globally. You know how Nigeria was shut down for several months due to COVID-19, and so on and so forth. So for the whole year or so, there was no activity. So immediately after, Nigeria was opened, we mobilized ourselves again. We met him in the office. We addressed him. We charged him. We told him, look, Senator, this is the more reason why you must pursue with this bill, because COVID is caused by a virus, and a virus is studied under microbiology. But there is a special branch of microbiology that deals with the study of viruses, which we call virology. So you can see when we told you microbiology rules the world, perhaps you never believed us, but look at how a virus shut down the whole world. Okay? And we also told him, only microbiologists can bring solution to COVID-19. Prevention and breakthrough of COVID and other viral diseases can only come from competent microbiologists in the area of virology. Treatment of viral diseases will not fall from the sky. But prevention has to do with vaccine. So vaccination is key to preventing viral diseases, and most of them are better prevented than treated. We told him microbiologists have the capacity to champion the production of vaccines in Nigeria so that we can also save Africa and the rest of the world. We have to be seen to be making contributions that the rest of the world can also benefit. We have that capacity. We know ourselves. We know the expertise we have in Nigeria and beyond. We cannot continue to rely on importation and donation. Nigerian government till today, depends on importation and donation, and our fragile economy will continue to suffer when large chunk of our foreign exchange is going for vaccine imports. We feel it's a shame. It's a shame on us, and it's a shame on the federal government of Nigeria not to allow microbiologists their right places so that they can champion all these things. So that the foreign exchange they use in importation can be channeled to other development areas. Because Nigeria, is really suffering. Most of the economic sectors are not doing the best. And we have all the resources, both human and material. So we advocated to him, go, Barao, you have a good bill. He listened, and he's a very good listener. And we said, use COVID-19 to press, And that is why when he went back to read the bill second time, for some of you that noticed, because we shared that on YouTube, on televisions, whatever platforms, there was no arguments. He just read it, and we believe his clout also, his personality at the Senate helps, because he's the chairman appropriation, and that's a very big position. Senators may not likely oppose him because of that, So we are thankful. He promised us he will read it second time, and that also happened. And immediately our bill was, referred to the Senate Committee on Establishments, because what we are looking for is Microbiology Council of Nigeria. So it's going to be a new established council under our parent ministry, which is the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. And of course, other associated ministries like health, agriculture, environment, trade and industry, petroleum resources, and name it. Why? Because the nature of microbiology as a course cut across all these ministries. And you can see, if we succeed, how relevant we are going to be to Nigeria and Africa. So the moment, we understood that the bill has been referred to, we started searching who actually is the chairman establishment committee. But when you have a bill to sponsor, you don't just live at home to make calls, you also have to be running to Abuja most of the time. So again, we got information from one of us, Dr. Mujitaba Bello and Ambassador Gama, who are all from Kano and who all actually belong to the constituency of Senator Barrow. So it's a Kano network actually that is working. They told us the former governor of Kano State, Ibrahim Shekarau, is the chairman, So we all rejoiced. Professor Mukhtar, who is also an active player, both in NEC, in the board, and in the general team, microbiology. Anything microbiology, Professor Mukhtar is there. Professor Mukhtar went ahead to make the connection with Ibrahim Shekarau because he worked with him closely during his campaign and other things. And that rapport is also there. So we mobilized ourselves again, and we went to meet Ibrahim Shekarau in his residence in Asokoro. And he gave us audience. And since the time we met him, he instructed his clerk, another wonderful person, that he should prepare for our public hearing because the Senate said that bill should be returned in 4 weeks, and so on and so forth. So the moment we got this note from the chairman and the clerk, we invited the clerk in our liaison office in Abuja. For your information, we have a temporary liaison office now, number 5, Freetown Street, very close to Rockview Hotel in Abuja. That, office is donated by Ambassador Alhassan Gama, one powerful politician that I told you connected us to Ibrahim Shekarau and others. So he is also part and parcel of this struggle. He identified with us, and he made a lot of connections and inroads. In fact, that is why you see within the shortest time possible, we're able to reach this stage. I told you 17 years we were there, but we have never got it so quick and so fast like now. So when the clerk came to the office, we discussed with him. He guided us very well that this is how to go about it. He gave us his estimates and other things, that if we had to wait for government until, the next assembly, nobody will talk about our bill. So the moment he gave us a guide, we sprung into action. That was when we started contacting our membership, and we sat down at our level to see how we can get funds to fund, this bill. Because whoever you see becoming a council or have a low backing, definitely that person or that organization must have spent a lot of money. And we are not exception because that is the procedure. So when the clerk met with us, we assured him that we are going to mobilize ourselves, we are going to make contacts, and so on and so forth. And for some of you that were, conversant with the earlier bill that was read, there was a lot of mix up there. That is not the original bill that, but like I told you, because Barrow is so powerful, nobody raised most of these questions. And in order to prevent the collapse of our bill in the third reading after this public hearing, a technical committee was set up, led by Professor Ado S.A. from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. He is our editor-in-chief. We feel that as an editor-in-chief and as an intellectual in his own right, he will be able to lead that technical committee to shape our bill. We worked in that committee, and at the end of the day, we came up with a very, very powerful bill document that is peculiar to microbiology, because we are looking for microbiology council. We are not in competition with any related, field. We are not fighting, but as microbiologists, we must show Nigerian government what we can do so that we can get their blessing. So we sat down to overhaul the organogram of the bill in particular. The traditional clauses, whatever, we can't tamper with that, but we are able to draw a bill peculiar to us. And the organogram we saw designed will have about 14 to 15 directorates, that the council is going to be led by a registrar. And we said that we are going to have 2 deputy registrars. One is in charge of administration, and the other one in charge of research and training. And then we have all other directors under them. We have directors, legal services. We have directors, infectious disease, surveillance, and public health. Because insofar as a disease is infectious, then only a competent microbiologist can handle it. Those of them that are professional intruders that are doing a lot of things in the hospital, preventing microbiologists from doing their right work, I think we understand most of them, they have their training as microbiologists, but for one reason or the other, they begin to, obey their professional bodies and so on. So, like I said, infectious diseases are diseases caused by microorganisms and those which are transmissible from one person to another. So we, as microbiologists and training, and microbiologists that have received training are in a better position to handle infectious disease, to handle emergencies posed by COVID, and so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to happily inform you that the BSc degree you have in microbiology can be enough for you to practice microbiology in whatever area you feel you can practice. There was a court case, in Port Harcourt, in Abia State, Aba, by one of our members who graduated, with a degree in microbiology. And when he looked for a job, he couldn't get one. He felt that he could just open a small office to start dealing with, infectious disease and patients and so on and so forth. And then the medical lab people came and closed and vandalized his, because most of the clients, were going to his place, leaving them, because he knew microbiology very well, So, and he took them to court. It becomes a legal issue, The Inspector General of Police at that time had to write to us to confirm, please, because this is a serious problem, to confirm to him whether if somebody has the degree in microbiology, whether he can handle, clinics or can go into private practice. We told him, yes, because if you look at the curriculum of microbiology, for some of you that study pathogenic microbiology, you see an aspect of medical mycology is there, virology is there, bacteriology is there. These 3 major groups of microorganisms are the one causing most of the havoc in disease arena. So we feel if you are really undergo these courses in the university, you are in a better position to also handle some of these things at client level. You may not necessarily need some polish. That degree you have, that training, first training is enough. So I think when we wrote, this man kept on defeating them and they kept on appealing. At a point, they had to beg him to settle out of court. The National Executive Council of the Nigerian Society for Microbiology supported him very well, morally and financially, because we were interested in that case at that time, because we felt that the case can also be useful to us when we come to pursue professionalization. So at the end of the day, I think they settle out of court and they allow him to practice and so on and so forth. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, microbiology rules the world. And if you are a microbiologist, then you can fix yourself into a number of opportunities. You can get jobs and you can create jobs. And that's why in our council, the proposed council, all these directorates are there. We have also tried to establish a directorate for culture collection and supply. You will recall that a lot of researches are going on in Nigerian universities at PhD, MSc, even at undergraduate level. But good results are obtained, and by the time a candidate attend a final examination, the cultures, if you ask where are they, he will tell you that they have been discarded. So we feel we have to harness resources, microbial resources of Nigerian soil, and that directorate will handle it, so that if you want a candidate organism for vaccine production, for example, that department will be able to supply it, because before it is stored there, it will be fully identified, characterized and identified, so that you don't miss it. So that instead of always relying on American type culture collection, ATCC, or the culture collection I visited in India and other parts of the world, our own Nigerian cultures must be stored. Okay? We can supply to NNPC if they want to do remediation, bioremediation. We cannot afford to allow them, spend large chunk of their foreign exchange to also buy cultures from America. Most of the culture that they use, DPR in those days, they buy them from America. And when you buy cultures in America and you want to use them in Nigeria, because of the differences in environmental conditions, such cultures may not work. And you have spent so much millions and billions of dollars, So, that even in microorganisms world, there are tribal differences. These tribes, you see, that the Wahala of Nigeria, tribal differences exist, in microorganisms. So if you get a strain that can do a good job, either in fermentation, in bioremediation, in whatever application, then you have to store it. So we have a provision in that council to deal with that. Of course, we have procurement side, we have education and training. The Directorate of Education and Training will liaise with the National Universities Commission, will liaise with MBTE, so as to overhaul the curriculum. We make input into what type of microbiology that students of 21st century would be taught in institutions. Most of the microbiology we teach today, or which NUC appear to direct us to teach, some of them are not really applied areas. And in revamping our economy, we need that kind of thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the journey so far. I must tell you that we have received a lot of goodwill from members. Like I told you, Ambassador Alassane Gama, who has given us his office to serve as liaison. That is our meeting point all the time when we come to Abuja, and among board members and NEC members, we have received the first support from Professor Awoluba, the Vice Chancellor of Bauchi State University, Gadao. So far, he gave the highest donation of 250,000, and he has sponsored this meeting. And Professor MD Makut of Nasarawa State University, Kepi, he gave us 100,000. He's still the second best donor as far as this struggle is concerned. Then last 2 weeks or so, we have received another high donation from Professor Fatima Tahir. the Deputy Vice Chancellor, academic of Nigerian Army University in Biu. She's a fellow of the society, and an Iron Lady, will call her. Anytime we call on her, she's always there for us. So we sincerely thank Professor Fatima Tahir for that. We thank NEC members who have also paid. Professor Olaitan, the former DBC of Osun State University, have wonderfully joined the struggle. She has donated and she has been mobilizing people in the Southwest to do so. The former president, Professor G.S.C. Okokwasili, and Professor Kende Eniola, they have also been mobilizing people, and they have also lived up to expectation, and we are very grateful to them. One godfather we have in the Southwest, Professor Fagadi from University of Ibadan, has also joined the race. He has been mobilizing and he has paid. Professor Aderie was the former vice president of Nigerian Society for Microbiology. He called me separately to give us moral support, and he has also paid his own dues. We thank the zonal coordinators. Most of the all the zonal coordinators have paid except that of, So again, the clerk of the National Assembly is a wonderful person. We have to tell you that it appears he is more concerned about our bills than ourselves. Because when we failed to submit these 54 copies of the draft bill for distribution and invitation, he really showed his anger, and we had to ask somebody to please talk to him that those copies are right in Abuja, and the printer is the one that disappointed us. But I am happy to inform you that he has received them. We have made copies in flash and CDs, and we have submitted 54 copies to him. And he is there day and night working with his boys in his secretariat towards this public hearing. In the next 2-3 days, we'll give you some information regarding the preparation, because next week is the D-Day. So we have to mobilize ourselves to be in the National Assembly. I talked to him this afternoon, but probably he said because of the this COVID principle, they are limiting the number of people that will attend the public hearing. So I want him to give us a reasonable number so that we can now, share them according to zones so that people can attend. Governor Ayade, we put all hopes on him. We made a lot of efforts to see him face to face. Unfortunately, up till now, we were not able to see him. But we will continue to push to see him because, public hearing is not the end of the matter. By the time this public hearing is done next week, we can say we are only midway to seeing our bill through. Because after public hearing, it will be sent to the Senate President's office, and Senator Barrow Jibril will now go and justify the bill in the third reading. Then from there, there will be concurrence with the lower house, and after concurrence, it will be sent back to the office of the Senate President, who will now write formally to Mr. President for assent. So we are working to see towards the end of this year or so, or before then. It depends on how members contribute and how we are able to push. We can get it around June. We can get it in May. It all depends on our commitments. Because you can see there are some executive bills that will come like today, they will be late tomorrow, and assent will come in a month. We know this is not an executive bill, but we want to make government understand that this is a very important bill that will save Nigeria a lot of things. So we'll continue to push on Governor Ayade to see how we can see him and seek his support. But for now, I tell you, whatever we are going to do, is from our pockets, the members, because primarily it is our struggle, primarily. So we have to continue to push. Members that do not pay, please pay. You know, if we say we will wait till whatever time that we'll see Professor Ade, the governor, by that time it's too late. And all the things we have invested, the time, the money, I mean, will go. So let's take responsibility. Let's take it our own, so that even if we see him anytime, whatever money he gives, it will belong to the Nigerian Society for Microbiology and the council. You know, because we have a land donated to us by Emir of Yahudi. That land needs to, to be developed. We need to have our office there permanent. Now we are on a borrowed office, like I said. So ladies and gentlemen, like I said, by tomorrow we'll hear more from the clerk about preparations, and we'll get that posted to all platforms, so that who will be invited, you will know, to come and give us support. But I want to assure you that members will be invited from different zones. There will be student representation, NEC will be represented, and former presidents, all former presidents of Nigerian Society for Microbiology will be invited, so that we can come and then push. It's like an examination. We don't know what is going to take place there. So we'll invite people that will come and defend the cause of microbiology, and so on and so forth. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm making appeal. I gave an update today in the afternoon while on transit. Up till now, not up to 200 members have paid their levies. And this is very, very discouraging. I thought we had a good number in Nigeria. And really we have. But members are not forthcoming to pay these levies. Remember, the people involved in these things, I mean, they're undergoing a lot of stress, like I mentioned. So the only way you can encourage them is to show that you are behind them. And they can die for you there. I know my members. I know how people work day and night. I know how people work. So please, we are appealing to you before that next week, before that D-Day, pay your levy. By the time we enter National Assembly, National Assembly, you may not know, maybe when we come to give you breakdown of expenses, a lot of PR is expected. People working, you have to give them a little thing sometime before they even allow you certain documents or allow you enter somewhere. So please, let's pay our levy. I will ask the secretary to produce our database, membership database. Our membership database is reading thousands. Contribution is reading less than 200. And we need that membership database. They may ask us, we need it to actually, push for the bill, because they want to know how many are we. If somebody raised a question during public hearing, how many are we? And we cannot give a good number. That can affect the struggle. So ladies and gentlemen, I will now allow you to do more of the, talking. You can raise questions. I'm sure my NEC members are around. Technical committee members are also part of this meeting. The PRO is the host. So whatever question you throw, if I'm not able to answer it, I'm sure some of these members that we are working together will be able to say something. Thank you very much, Dr. Odumosu. You can take over now. You can ask people to make comments. And I've seen people have been sending chats, questions. I think we need to document them. Even if we don't attend to them today, we'll get back to whoever asked that question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the wonderful speech and remarks. Once again, I want to appreciate everyone that joining in for this meeting. We have some few questions that I would like to address briefly before we allow people to ask questions. Some people were asking about how do we make our renewals. We make renewals of our membership via NSM website, nsm.ng. That is where you can renew your membership. Membership renewal is 6,000 naira annually. And also levy. Some people were asking that how much is the levy? Levy, we stratified levy. There was an information about levy, which is the budget declaration, which gave different cadre of people in university and in the ministries and in non-university members what amount they pay. We gave this information on our Telegram. If you are not on the Telegram, well, you can visit any of our social media handles, whether Twitter or the Facebook, or you can message me directly or any NEC member. You will get across to how to add you to our Telegram group. Telegram is a platform that allows a lot of people up to 100,000. That's why we are using Telegram. So that said, I also have a question to ask the president, but the question the president have answered some of the questions, which I wanted to say that apart from the money that we need for lobbying, what are the other challenges that we have? But I think the president have actually answered some of these questions. But I would like to call the president afterwards to emphasize some of these problems that we are facing, that we need cooperation from the members of the public. So right now, I'll be unmuting one by one. Although some people do not put their name, which I can't actually call their name, but if you know your handle, I will unmute you. Notice that I will unmute you one per person. You ask your question and your question will be addressed. Please, I want everybody to, if you are not talking at this moment, because you don't want to have distraction, we don't want to have background noise disabling the audio, I will quietly unmute everyone and allow everyone to unmute themselves. But please, if you are not talking, don't unmute yourself. And if you are not recognized, don't unmute yourself for us to have a coordinated meeting. Thank you very much. I will call on Professor Ogbonaya Ogu to please ask questions. Unmute yourself and ask your question. Professor.
Good evening, Mr. President, and wonderful members of Microbiology Society of Nigeria. Sorry that I've not been following up because of some personal hitches with me as an individual, because up till November last year, I have been following up the activities of Mr. President and his team. You have done a great job, and we have not gotten it so good. And I'm urging every person who is a microbiologist in Nigeria and Nigerians outside the country who are microbiologists to team up with our president and his team for us to get where he's leading us to. Because as he said, the benefit of our council will be so normal that it will just be like a virus. It's either you are infected or you are affected, directly or indirectly. I don't have so much question. The only thing I would have asked that when the worst come to the worst, we can now have a budget and call professors from all zones of the country to make sure that we do the needful in order to make sure that we get this council this time around. That if we don't get it this time around, means that we are still going to go back from the starting point in the next assembly, God forbid. So I'm urging everybody to support our leaders and all the things they are doing to ensure that we get where we are. Thank you, Mr. President, and your team. May God continue to bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to call on Modesty. I don't know who is Modesty. Hold on, I will just let me find Modesty. You can unmute yourself now and ask your question. or comments? If modesty is not available, you are not ready, I will call on Awari Andrew. I don't know if you're a doctor or a professor. Awari Andrew, Ogbenefe Jiro. I'm sorry about the name. Please unmute yourself and ask your question or comment. If it's not available also,
Go to the next person.
some people just raise up their hands and they just left. I like to call on Rashid Y.O.
All right. Can I go ahead? Is it clear?
Go ahead, please.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Mr. President and every member of the society here. So I have three suggestions and maybe question in a way. So I'm hoping that maybe I don't know if it has been done, but maybe a circular to all HODs of all the schools that microbiology program is actually going on in Nigeria, a circular for the particular participation and levy payment. That's number one. For all lecturers to participate in this and give a timeline in the circular to them to make their own, whether it is the levy or if it is membership renewal, and that they should, in fact, it should be a must that they should do that, in my opinion. And I think that's the right thing to do, because this has been ongoing for how many years now, and this is the time that we've got to actually make this thing work. So a circular should be sent to all institutions, to the head of department of all institutions, mandating that however they will rally up together, that they must make their own donation or whatever, in whatever way, whether individually in their levy or maybe as a group, by maybe a deadline, maybe by Monday. Today is Wednesday. If the circular can get to them by tomorrow, and or maybe then they can have a meeting by Friday, and then they make sure that they send in their inputs by Monday. On the other hand, the Nigerian Society for Microbiology Students, National Association of Microbiology Students in all institutions, I have been a president before, and I know the struggle that many of the institutions, I mean, when I was there about more than 10 years ago now, I know the struggle we went through and how we were trying as much as possible to make sure that there is an impact. And I believe that if this information gets to all of them, in each department, in the federal universities in Nigeria, I'm sure there are nothing less than 800 students in each department. And I'm sure that if they get this information, I can assure you that they will make their payments. If it is that 1,000 naira they can do in each of these, I'm sure that more than 50% of them will make that. So a circular should be sent. As it is getting to the HOD, it should also get to the president of all the student association. That's the number two. I believe that this can be done by tomorrow, and I'm sure we have the resources. And if we don't have the resources, I volunteer to participate in gathering the resources that we can make sure that we get this thing done by tomorrow. Then number three also is, like I said, I'm readily available. I am currently in Abuja, and I work with some federal and international parastatals here, from the Ministry of Health to some UN agencies and some other organizations. So I'm readily available in Abuja to provide any support that I need to provide. Then the next question is there a difference between the levy and then the membership? That's whether a renewal or new membership, and then the levy. Or is there a form of support if there is a donation support for this course separately, so that we can know and then we can let people understand whichever way that they can come into this part and then take part in doing their donations. That's my contribution and my question. So if I have more, I will let others speak and then I can come back. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To quickly answer some of your questions and suggestions, actually there there was a circular that was dispatched to various universities. How effectively this was done, I can't say, but I'm very sure the president suggested this earlier on through zonal coordinators so that they can reach out to several universities, not only universities, including polytechnics, so that we can mobilize. But I believe it was not effectively done. Now that you have suggested it to be emphasized, thank you very much. The other one you said, levy is different from membership or renewal. Membership, to become a member of this society, you actually have to pay a subscription fee, just like it is found everywhere. ASM, SFAM, everywhere you have a subscription for membership, and your membership is renewed every year. So this is different from the levy. The levy is actually towards supporting this professionalization agenda, which we believe people have been responding to, and we still need more response from other people. Thank you very much. So I will.
Mr. Odumosu, please. Hello,
Sir.
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 Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want to recognize the chairperson of the Professionalization Committee. You know, I told you this thing started 17 years ago. And the chairperson of the committee, Professor I.B. Nwani, I have seen that she is part of us. So I.B. Nwani, wherever you are, we recognize you, and you are welcome to this meeting. And please, you can talk to members, maybe for 1 or 2 minutes. Thank you.
Please unmute yourself and give.
Good evening. Good evening, the president, all the zonal coordinators and members. I want to congratulate you for the major strides achieved to get to this level. Just like the president said, this had been a very long journey. I am grateful to God and to all the people who had been working painstakingly to make sure that this come to reality. I pray and hope that as it has got to this level, that this time around it will be a realistic venture. Congratulations to everyone, all those who had contributed in one way or the other to bring it to this level. Congratulations, and I wish us the best. Thank you.
Thank you. That is Professor I.B. Nwani, the pioneer chairperson of the Professionalization Committee and one of the finest medical mycologists in Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, please, I would like people to be very brief because we don't have all the day. I'd like people to be very brief in their comments or questions. If somebody has said what you want to say, please don't repeat it again. If you have a new suggestion, bring it forward. And if you have a question, don't repeat what has been said. So that said, I would like to ask Kingsley Enejoafi to please unmute himself and make his contribution. I don't mean by the way I pronounce your name.
Good evening. Good evening, my president and distinguished senior colleagues and friends. My suggestion would be straight. I would prefer that they appoint coordinators for each of the institutions, research, and other allied bodies where microbiologists are currently practicing. Because sometimes we know too well HOD may not be able to push it, but appoint the most senior within that establishment as the coordinator to drive this professionalization, to collect the levy. Because actually we need the money to move forward. Thank you so much. That's my submission.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being brief. Your suggestion has been noted. I don't know, maybe the president has anything to say concerning that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. The zonal coordinators.
Okay.
The zonal coordinators have already appointed institutional representatives. So I think they are working together.
All right. I would like to quickly recognize Moses Adoga please unmute yourself and make your contribution and be brief. Thank you. Moses Adoga. Okay, if he's not available, can we call on Professor Sadatu Aliu Shinkafi?
Hello. Moses Adoga is here.
Okay, please be brief.
Hello. This is Moses Adoga from National State University.
Go ahead.
First of all, I want to, before I ask my question, I want to just add to what some of our colleagues have already said concerning the funding this initiative. I feel all departments, the HODs of all departments of microbiology in this country, I think they need to make departmental contribution to this. For instance, if you ask every department to contribute 100,000 naira, and you have like 100 departments, I think that's about 2 million, right? So I think we need to do that. And again, it's not just enough to send out circulars and then expect that things will happen. I think the zonal coordinators can get the phone contact of all the head of department in their zone so that there will be an active follow-up to whatever we are trying to get from them. And lastly, I just want to get a clarification. I don't know at what level of legislation is the bill. Is it reading, second reading, or third reading? Thank you.
Thank you. You can mute yourself now. Your suggestion has been noted. Our bill has passed second reading. Thank you. I will welcome Professor Sadatu Aliu Shinkafi to please unmute herself or himself and make contribution.
Yes,
Professor.
good evening, my fellow colleagues, the microbiologists, and also good evening, our able National President, Dr. Andy Yarima, who was my classmate, a colleague, a classmate. We did our undergraduate together. So good evening, you and your cabinet. I also want to congratulate all the microbiologists for reaching to this level after first reading, second reading to this level. Congratulations to us. I just want to say that by the grace of God Almighty, we shall be contributing to this great because it is indeed a job well done. So I just want to say more grace to your elbow and also to congratulate also again, all of us for this reaching to this level. In fact, I know Dr. MB Yarima to be a hardworking. He was my class rep. He was a colleague. So he has done a very good job and I know that he is going to continue with it. Thank you very much. This is my goodwill message to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have noted that.
Thank you very much for the goodwill message. I would like to also recognize Solomon Ogbona. Unmute yourself, please. If you are not talking, can you kindly mute yourself?
I've unmuted myself. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. My name is Solomon Ogbona. I'm commenting from Port Harcourt. My comment is, I'll quickly make my comment on decentralization. I think for the purposes of collecting any form of remittances, whether it be renewal or levy or registration, I think that we need to decentralize from national to zonal to branches to campuses. I think that would make it very effective, because at the branch level, at the chapter level, per university level, people have personal and direct contact of other microbiology, and will be more effective to reach them as to preach the gospel and tell them the importance of professionalization. So I want to suggest that we have to try and decentralize, and if it's possible, nominate coordinators up to the chapter level or branch level, if you like. I was in a group a few days ago, and something came up. Someone was making a comment that those of us in Port Harcourt do not have a South-South coordinator yet. It made me wonder how we're going to be registering into the Southeast region and possibly contribute. I was also going to mention that some of our members, those of them that I've also talked to, have some reservations about committing their funds into the cause, because for some of us who have encouraged some people to register as members first, some of them have been complaining that they've registered for some time now, and they haven't gotten their certificates yet. Makes them believe that the coordination is not watertight, and then they don't see the need to make further commitments as regards professionalization and renewal of membership. So that's my contribution. I think that we should be centralized and also try to bring up our activities up to speed as regards issuance of certificates to members, so that we can also grow the confidence amongst those members and intending members. That would also help us in our region and in our various branches.
All
That's
right.
my Thank you.
Please, I'd like to ask, when you say decentralized, are you talking about in terms of registration or reaching out to members quickly?
I think that we should have, as we have a national president, we should have a zonal coordinator. We should have, for instance, I'm in Port Harcourt, I'm in River
Okay,
State,
I understand. We actually have a decentralized way of operation. We have South, West, Southeast, North, South, and all the geopolitical zone of Nigeria. We have coordinators. Now, like I said earlier, how effective this decentralization is being carried out depends on individual chapters. So we cannot really enforce people to be committed. We want people to be committed, but in terms of decentralization, I can assure you that we have been decentralized. But when it comes to registration, we have a website. You can only register through our website as a member. So you don't need to go through a coordinator. You can ask your coordinator for guides, or you'll be directed to a single website where your details will
Odumosu, information.
Exactly my point, sir. From the comments we were even having this evening, I found 2 comments from individuals that I know in Port Harcourt that are registered through the website and are transferred funds, up till today. They haven't gotten their
Information.
And in fact, they were still trying to verify whether they transferred those funds or not. If we had
information
at the chapter level, those verifications will no longer be needed. They will know that they have been acknowledged to have transferred those funds already. It will just be a matter of communication from the chapter to the zonal or to the national to issue those certificates so that members can continue other duties that are due them. So I'm suggesting
information.
Can you allow the president to give an information, please?
Yes, sir. Please, yes, go on, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your concern.
Yes,
I want to inform the House that the South has an acting zonal coordinator. Professor CJ Ogungwe of Department of Microbiology, Uniport, is the acting zonal coordinator. We have been in touch with him, and he is coordinating the zone for now. So if you don't know, please take note. Any matter of the zone, you can refer to him. He organized one of the best conference in the last 20 years. So he's a very active gentleman, I know, and he's doing his work. Secondly, about the secretariat not giving certificate, you see, Nigerian Society for Microbiology is the biggest society in Nigeria. Every day we see large chunk of membership coming. I mean, a lot of people, so the secretariat are handling them in batches. And we always ask people to be patient. We are even giving e-certificates. Once the secretariat is done with the processing of your membership, they send e-certificates to you. You don't even need to go to your coordinator to collect it. So when you don't see secretariat responding, please, you should know that they are handling large volumes of application per day. And two of them, I think they are doing their best. So please be patient. If for any reason, you know, your own certificate has not been sent, just send a little complaint, a little reminder to them. By the time you send a little reminder, I'm sure they will respond to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll reach out to the professor in Uniport to see how we can synergize and make things better.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
I would
thank
like
you.
to,
Thank you. Yeah,
please,
yeah.
whenever you want to make your comment and suggestion, I would like you to be brief. We have people on the queue trying to make their own comment and question too. I would like to recognize Mohammed Abdul. Mohammed Abdul from Kaduna State University. Kindly unmute yourself and be brief.
Sorry, Dr. Lewis, please, before you continue, observation. We are not enjoying this meeting because there's too many people that their mics are open. Please, there is a button where you can mute everybody. Mute everybody. There are about 7 or 8 people muted and they're speaking.
Okay, I will mute everybody. Okay, just hold on. Let me mute everybody.
When you allow, you can then unmute.
I would like to recognize Mohammed Abdul from Kaduna State University. Please unmute yourself and be brief. If he's not there, I will ask that Abdulaziz Anjoni from LASU to go ahead and make his contribution or question.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to say very good evening to the president and all the members of the Nigerian Society for Microbiology. To quickly contribute, number one, I want to appeal to us that to actually actualize this dream, we need to be more proactive. How do I mean? Is that the drive around the different environments. I think we need to put up a powerful delegation per each of the geopolitical zone. For instance, at the Lagos end, can the team from Lagos State University, from Unilag, from UI move around, people within that environment to each of the departments to meet the professors, the eminent professors, the senior members of each of the departments, so that we see this assignment as a very serious one. That is my number one. Number two is that I listened to the president when he said that each of the departments, that they have coordinators. I can tell you, Mr. President, sir, that the Lagos State University, nobody has ever said it in my department, where we have about 5 different professors and about 5 associate professors. Nobody has ever raised it, even on the departmental platform, that there is anything like this. I was the one that shared to members of the department, hoping that some of them will join us here. That is my number 2. So I feel each of the institutions should have their own departmental or institutional representative that will be coordinating at the College of Medicine and likewise at the Faculty of Science across the different institutions. Then my number 3 contribution, Mr. President, sir, I listened to you very well when you said Naira. I'm sorry to say, sir, I feel strongly that that is not good enough with the eminent personalities we have, former vice chancellors, current vice chancellors, current government and all that. I think we also need a powerful delegation that we move around to these eminent personalities. People should be willing to give 1 million or 500,000 or above 1 million and what have you, so that we will be able to get something in no time. My number 4 point, sir, is that I strongly support the departmental contribution. Apart from the levy that we expect from the individuals, let every department in the institutions we have across the country be tasked. For instance, Lagos University Microbiology Department should contribute 100,000. ORU, OAU, Ibadan, 100,000. Members of that department will know there is a serious task ahead of them, and I can tell you in no time they will be able to do something. And finally, for me, sir, is that the issue raised about the students. Yes, we also need to talk to the student body at the national level, at the zonal level. They also need to move around if need be, or to also liaise with their lecturers in the various institutions to ensure that the students also send in their contribution. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm indeed grateful.
Thank you very much. Please, whenever we want to make a contribution, let us be brief. Whatever anybody has said previously, let us not repeat it again. And kindly mute yourself while I welcome V2026. I don't know your name. V2026. I don't know, you don't have a name. Please, can I welcome Professor Ediga? Professor Ediga.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, President and members. My name is Ediga Agbo of Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, but currently at the University of Health Sciences of Tupo, Deputy Vice Chancellor. I want to say, in reality, the ESCO national body is doing a lot, but quite frankly, I must tell you that it is not filtering down to our members. Most of the campaign is in WhatsApp groups, but I can give you an example. I am on the Southeast Zonal WhatsApp group, and I am on the Northeast Zonal WhatsApp group. Southeast has only 138 members. Northeast has only 179 members. So all this talk we're talking is just radiating amongst those people. Now, even here on this meeting, we're less than 200. So we need to take seriously all the suggestions about going personal. Zonal coordinators may look like they can handle it in the matter, but they are still too far from members. If the president is correct in saying that we number in our thousands, I think for institutions, we should still appoint coordinators and hold them accountable. Coordinators different from heads of departments. Hold them accountable for liaising with the departments, meeting with the departments, and reaching out to members. Many people are not aware of what is going on. I think we should also produce small banners or stickers, things that are beautiful, that if I am using, somebody will ask me, where did you get this from? And I will say, look, I bought this because I'm trying to use my payment as a contribution to this course. I see some of the zones are holding symposia, workshops, and the rest. Those, to me, are a bit of a distraction from the main item. You can hold a workshop, but can you make it mandatory that the person coming to attend the workshop should have, first of all, made his or her contribution to this course before doing that? And then lastly, when you go to the National Assembly, I think you should amass as much as possible our eminent members, professors that are eminent in their own rights. Take them to the National Assembly. People that, when you go to the National Assembly, you will tell the senator, good morning, sir. The senator will tell you, good morning, sir. We need to talk at that level of caliber before we can make progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Your comments were taken, and I'm very sure you are going to act on some of those suggestions that have been made. I would like to welcome Matthias Ajaba. Matthias Ajaba, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Hello. Good evening, everyone. This is Matthias Ajaba from Calabar, University of Calabar. I want to respectfully say thank you, Mr. President, for how far you have led us in every arrangement. I must state here that I am really impressed and encouraged by this presentation this evening. However, my first observation here is this. This message got to me this evening through a friend, and having participated up to this time, I most appreciate her, Mrs. Joy, who encouraged me to participate in this program. I was listening to you very carefully when you make mention of a visitation or contacting our amiable governor in the person of Governor Bernard Ayade. I want to encourage us. These men are politicians, and they wouldn't want to listen to anything that will not bring in money into their account. However, if we want to get to these people, we can go through their foot soldiers. We can go through their loyalists. We can go through people who are very close to them. I'm from Cross River State, and I know a few persons who we can carefully go through that will get us to Professor Ben Ayade. Somebody like Professor Poke, who was the one-time Vice Chancellor of University of Calabar, is a microbiology. The Professor Ayade himself is a microbiology. And I have few other persons, renowned professors in the University of Calabar here. To somebody like Professor Abia Lydia Bassi is a microbiologist, and other persons that can team up together and easily link us to the governor in the person of Ayade. If we want to get it done, these are the possible ways to reach Professor Ayade. In as much as this group must move forward and the impact must be felt everywhere, I want to deviate a little that we need to pass maybe monthly publication through the zonal coordinators. I'm just shocked to hear that, okay, we have zonal coordinators for South. I'm hearing it for the first time. I'm not in doubt of the capacity of the professor who is in charge. I'm not in doubt of the impact he has done so far, but I can state emphatically here that I'm hearing about him for the first time, and his impact, I wish it would be felt in University of Calabar. Having said that, I would suggest that if we have a zonal coordinator in Calabar, in South, there is need for us to say, okay, there should be a coordinator for each university. And this will ease it, a renowned professor from each university to coordinate. How will this be done? There is always a departmental board meeting. And if issues concerning microbiology society is raised, I trust me, you, Prof. and President, sir, that it will carry more and much impact than hearing it from the national. All this registration, all this renewal of registration, membership, and stuff like that, it can be easily done through the department if our amiable professors are deeply involved and sensitize those who are just coming into the system. They will certainly be encouraged to join the Nigeria Society for Microbiology. And so I will emphasize again that if there are monthly publications, we don't need to carry hard copies of this thing. Soft copies, within 10 minutes, it will go viral within everywhere in the country and even beyond the country. So I encourage that whatever Mr. President is doing so far, he has done well. They should be able to encourage, timely remind the zonal coordinators to carry the members along through departmental or the university. If that is done, I am sure we'll get to our destination and get there right on time. Thank you very much. That is all I have to say for now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Odumosu, let me respond to him.
Okay, sir.
Hello, we thank you. Yeah, we thank you, Prof. I think these are wonderful contributions you have made, and we are very, very glad. You see, we really suffer a lot to see Professor Ayade. We made effort to link up with his own liaison offices in Abuja. We asked somebody from Unical to book an appointment for us. So we'll be very glad because the National Assembly have sent him invitation because we wanted him to lead the public hearing. His voice and that of Professor Agbo, like Agbo said, we need prominent people that are well respected in their own right to be able to address the public hearing so that they will understand what microbiology is all about. So we're very glad if we use your option also to see Professor Ayade, to also convince him to please come to Abuja and lead the public hearing. Perhaps you can send your contact to PRO or myself so that we can begin to talk from now on. If we can have contact with him or if we can get audience from him, I think the society will be better for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to welcome Professor Osita to make his contribution. Professor Osita, unmute yourself and make a contribution. If he's not present, I would like to welcome Professor Ekaisi from Uniben. Forgive me for the pronunciation of your name.
Hello, I am Professor Osita. Good evening, Mr. President. Good evening, members of the Nigerian Society for Microbiology. I congratulate Mr. President and members for the journey so far. However, like we have all noted, the response is poor on the part of members. Even for this meeting, we have less than 200 persons. There was mobilization on social media, on both Telegram, Facebook, various WhatsApp groups, even among students groups. Even with this 177, some of the participants are students. So I appeal to our people to do person-to-person contact with their colleagues. Everybody present during this meeting should take it as a matter of importance and do person-to-person contact in your department, in your zone, in your state, and reach out. We should not wait only for the appointed coordinators because this is a matter of interest. The people that are interested will convince you better than those appointed and they are not interested. We need to do mass mobilization as if we are doing political party campaign for people to give us votes. One-on-one campaign. Everybody you know that is a microbiologist, you reach out to the person. Those that on your WhatsApp group platform, on your contact list, you send them the message, you reach to them one by one. That will help us. Then the students, I want to also thank the students that joined this meeting, and I want to enjoin them to continue reaching out to their colleagues. If you see the payment list on the platform, you see that a number of students have paid. I want them to continue doing the reaching out one by one to all the presidents, to all the departments, so that all the students will participate in this exercise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Osita. I appreciate you, sir. Professor Ekaisi, can you please come on board?
Good evening, everybody. My dear President and Executive Member, congratulations on the success we have recorded thus far. But let me just quickly say this to us, sir, my President and members. For every suggestion put forward, you don't need to reply us. Please, what is most important is for us to note and to know so that you can work on it. Because I can't keep on answering and answering, then you will lose strength and all the rest. Just note, we'll note it and we'll move forward. That's number one. Number two, the way we are going, sir, we might not achieve what we up to achieve. The coordinator we have, I don't know how often they give the executive report. There should be a monthly report. Now that we are on strike, there should be report often to the ESCO, a follow-up. In somebody have said before, in every department, in all the institutions in the country where you have microbiologists, they should be reporting to the zonal coordinator who reports to the executive. We have students who have graduated before. We have not reached to them. That is alumni of microbiology. Some of them are in this country, some of them are outside. So we need to get the contact of all those. Like I have a class in my graduation class. So I'm going to post this to our platform. All of us who are graduated from microbiology that are here will link everybody up. From there, we can make a meaningful contribution. To those of us that's what I've said before, former VCs, reps of rep and senators. My president, sir, we are sorry that we have to stretch you, and we have stretched you, and God will continue to strengthen you. Like somebody said, Professor Ben Ayade is somebody who can use. He was once a senator. President, sir, yourself and one other person, because of fund, you have to go to Calabar, book an appointment. So we do to others. If we're able to do this, we can do that. Finally, somebody also said, I just want to re-emphasize it. Every department has a vote. We might not go into the vote, but what we should do, like somebody said, each department should be taxed. If 100,000 is too much, 50,000 from each department across all the institutions in the country. Colleges of Education, Polytechnic, universities, research institutes and allied the industries and the rest. So we put a peg, 50,000 naira each. Before we know it, each of these products will have a coordinator that will be coordinating it. If we're able to do this, I guess we'll get enough funds. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I'd like to call on Samson Ikaeri. Samson Ikaeri.
Good evening, Mr. President, sir. Good evening, every other person. One of my questions has been asked, and it still boils down to the student body. We have a lot of students who are very, very, very interested. And I'm from Uniben and serving president. One of the issues we had last year was our registration. And this actually deterred so many students from registering and even participating in the body. They complained that their registration was not going well and their certificate was not being given. When this message got to me, the first thing I did was to send to them, and they were complaining that they've been having issues and they didn't want to respond. Basically, nobody was even responding to me again. So I don't know if that can be resolved, that certificate issue that was raised, if it can be resolved as soon as possible, so some of our students can be interested. Because basically, that's one thing that actually gives them the vibe to want to pay for this stuff. And secondly, as I think I want to, someone raised the question initially as per the information not going around. We have a student body for all presidents, and I believe every president is duly represented there. And the information was duly passed there. So basically, if a school or an institution does not get the information to their students, it still boils down to the fault of the student president and not just the coordinator being faulted every time. I think he did his job, and there's a chain of operation, and every other person has to be active and well responding. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for your wonderful contribution, Mr. Sampson.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will call on Etifia. Etifia, if he's not present, Etifia. Okay, let me call on Umar Nuruddin. Umar Nuruddin.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Umar Nuruddin from Bayero University, Kano. So actually, I've been following NSM for a very long time, and I will actually commend the great work that we've done so far. And also, like someone raised an issue that what we lack mostly is that we lack awareness. In this regard, we have a particular professor in our department, especially Professor MD Mukhtar. Normally, anytime he comes to the class, he always like give us awareness about NSM, why we need to register, why we need to why they need to professional microbiology, and why we should all tell our friends and our and everybody we know to register and all that. So I think the other professors and other lecturers should also do like that. We should let the students know the reason why NSM, why we want this, and why we are fighting for this. Because if we don't have awareness, if you guys don't make us to understand why we need to do this, we won't have the zeal to do it. So if there is proper awareness and then campaign about this, I think we are going to have a lot of turnout. Secondly, someone talked about the certificate issue. Yes, I think the NSM executive should please try to find a way to sort out those certificate issues so that anybody that are registered, maybe they should be given something, even if it's just an ID card or a certificate to show that yes, they are a member of NSM. That will also make other people to register with NSM and henceforth. And thirdly, we can use student body. I know we have the National Association of Microbiology Students. Such body can be used. We have a lot of selfless communities there that can be used to proclaim this act. You understand? We can make the service of these selfless students and then bring them together, bring them forth with the NSM executive so that we have this chain of communication between the National Association of Microbiology Students and then the National Society for Microbiology. I think that will go a long way in helping us a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you
God
very
bless
much.
you.
Thank you. Please, once we have made a point, and our point is probably previously mentioned, we don't want to repeat such point again because of our time. Many of these points have been emphasized. We don't need you to say it again. We are taking note of everything. Please, let us stick to time. Thank you very much. I will welcome Olagunju Quadri. Olagunju Quadri. If Olagunju Quadri is not there, I will ask Stanley Wakagbara to please make his comment. Stanley Wakagbara, please forgive me for the name pronunciation. If Stanley is not present, I'm going to ask Joseph Oko.
Thank you very much. My name is Joseph Oko. I joined the meeting late because of some circumstances beyond my control. And I think I have some other colleagues also that were late too. I wish to appeal to the president that before the end of the meeting, maybe he could use 15 minutes to recap on his address so that we can get some of the things that he said earlier. That's just my request. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Abdullah Idris Daban. I'm sorry for the pronunciation of names. Kindly make your comment or question. Abdullah Idris Daban.
Good evening, everybody. My able president and my once Supervisor, Professor MBA Rima. Congratulations, sir, for these giant strides that you've reached. And I would like to thank you also, sir, for what you've done so far in our lives. I have a few suggestions. Hello?
Please go ahead.
Okay, I have a few suggestions. The first thing is on the NSM website. Currently, I've been using the website for a while now, and seriously, it has not been user-friendly. So I would really like the EXCOs or the NEC to work on it. That's one. Then the NSM, the website also can also be used to solve the issue of certificates. It can also be used to solve the issue of certificates if the right things are done. If everyone should go online, you don't need to go through anybody. As long as you are a registered member, you've paid the levies and all that. I believe it can, since in the world of technology that we are today, it can be used to generate your certificate almost immediately. That is another thing. Then secondly, the flow of information across from the top down to the grassroots has been really, really, really poor. It has been really poor. So I would love to suggest that apart from the zonal coordinators that we have, we should also have state coordinators, and even at school coordinators too, active members of school coordinator, that once an information is passed from probably the president, it will go across them and it will reach the grassroots at almost immediately. Those are my suggestions and contributions. Thank you. Okay, sorry, one last thing, please. Hello? Hello?
Please go ahead.
Okay, one last thing, please. Apart, if the NSM website, issuance of the certificate through the NSM website will not be possible now, I would advise that the departments or the representatives in departments, anyone who needs the certificate should go through representative of the departments, and it should be passed across maybe through the state and then the zonal coordinators. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Your suggestion has been noted. Please, we will not take any more questions again, because the president have to recap as a request made by someone now. So I think those hands that were raised before are the one I'm going to call now. I'm going to call on Gift Uza. Gift Uza.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Gift Uza from University of Port Harcourt, a PhD student. Please, my humble suggestion is that we don't have much time again. There are just two things we need to do to ensure we achieve all our goals. One, we really need to play the politics. And secondly, for us to gather up some financial support from students and all the rest, I think there is need to just levy every department. If it is 200,000 or 500,000, from each department now, the HOD will be able to levy both the staffs and the students, because there's no way you get support from all students. You can't get all, but through the department, you get support from the student and from the staffs of that department. So that's the only way to raise money. Then the other way, they should appoint.
Your suggestion has been made previously. Please, the people have emphasized on this suggestion. Please, it is noted.
Odumosu.
Sir?
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Suggestion about levy has been emphasized.
Okay, because going back to individual, why I'm stressing on this, going back to individual, there's no way you can get all individuals now because of the time. But just go straight to the department. That's just my humble suggestion, please.
Dr. Odumosu, let me quickly talk because, yes, sir. Let me quickly talk because my battery is at 5%. It will soon run down.
Right, sir.
I want to sincerely thank you particularly and all members of NSM that find time to attend. We have really noted some useful suggestions which we are going to implement definitely. And that is the essence of the meeting. We are more happier than you are because you have shown us the way, and we will try as much as possible to use those options. I will not be able to make a recap like somebody requested, but I just want to assure you that this meeting is going to continue. It's going to continue on weekly basis or something like that. But I think before the public hearing, we will have another one, either on Monday or Tuesday, so that we can address members properly. So we encourage all members, if we set aside a time to join the meeting, please join at the right time, because we are from different locations and different circumstances. We may not have time to repeat ourselves. So the PRO will communicate to all members on our next meeting, either on Monday or on Tuesday, depending on the circumstance. So I thank everyone, and I'm sure the PRO has documented all this. He will share with NEC, and then NEC will give further, suggestions, and then that's definitely will follow. And I'm confident. I want to inform all members that despite the problems we are seeing, despite the lack of response, I have a feeling in my body that this time around we are going to succeed. Like I said, we are not going to compete or fight with any, we have made a bill in such a way to avoid any existing law, so that to avoid any clash. But we are partners in progress with all other organizations and so on and so forth. So I thank you sincerely, and we'll continue to do that. Thank you, Odumosu. You can continue with the meeting, and then you can take note, and then you brief on it, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. President. Adam Mustafa, can you please go ahead with your comment? Adam Mustafa. Adam Mustafa.
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm there.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Good evening, all. My name is Dr. Adam Mustafa from University of Maiduguri. I would like to also emphasize on the issue of decentralizing the zonal leadership, maybe to make it into each institution. For example, the gap between the zonal coordinator and different institutions is very big. So if we can get each institution coordinator, we can liaise with the zonal coordinator so that they can come, so that they can mobilize with all other members in their department. For example, in University of Maiduguri, we have more than 30 academic staff with many scientific officers who are microbiologists. So if we can get a coordinator there, and we can make sure everybody pay his or her levy there, we can generate a lot of money. But with this kind of gap, I think it will be a bit a problem. But if we can decentralize it and then liaise with the zonal coordinators, that would be very fine. Thank you.
Information, please. The zonal coordinator, Dr. Mustafa Isa, is from your department, University of Maiduguri.
Yes, I know.
But most of the time, we don't see him doing what he's supposed to do. Is Dr. Tukur Adamu? Excuse me. Is Dr. Tukur Adamu from Gombe State University that is doing most of the work for him? So if you are working with a zonal coordinator right at their doorstep, I think you should advise him and encourage him to do his work instead of asking NEC or to do it. He's there. He's in your department, and you say you know. So please tell him to please organize that thing. NEC, we are only NEC. We cannot do everything. We cannot reach out, definitely. But I think some of the, strategies that were suggested today, we will try them. Because this struggle, like I said, is not going to end next week after public hearing. It's a continuous thing until the assent on the bill. Unless and until Mr. President sign our bill, it will not become a law and the council will not exist. So I want you to take that personal message to Dr. Mustafa Isa, that the president said he should mobilize UNIMED, and other associated institutions, because Dr. Tukur is doing that from Gombe Axis and others. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Mr.
Secondly,
President.
sir, I would like to suggest like we used the other time that in 2020, where microbiology, professionalized microbiology hashtag has been used, and it generated a lot of interest and in Nigeria and become the hot topic on that day. If we can use this, we can specifically use the 17th March to use that hashtag. I know it will generate a lot of interest, and maybe we can add another hashtag like pass MCB, bills and what have you. That would be a kind of another publicity. I think.
Please, liaise with the PRO. Anybody that has any good idea, this is our struggle. We must do it. You don't have to wait for NATO or president or PRO. Liaise with our PRO. Our PRO is a digital PRO. Whatever you know we can use to achieve success, we want to get it done this time around. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you. Please, the next person, you are going to have 1 minute, just 1 minute to make your contribution. Don't repeat and don't emphasize. Give a new suggestion. So I'm going to ask Nonyelum Anakweze to please be brief, straight to the point, 1 minute. After 1 minute, I will stop you. Nonyelum Anakweze. If he's not present, I would like to call on Miriam Aminu.
Hello, good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Noyelo Manakwenze speaking from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka. I want to appreciate the president and his team for doing a good job. Now, coming to the issue of funding, I would want to suggest, one, that the zonal coordinators work hand in hand with the heads of departments. Once the students get to their final year, they should be made to register with NSM compulsorily. And then, as new staff are being taken into the university, microbiology specifically, they should be asked to present their certificate of membership before the HOD can sign them in. That's one. That's the second point. Then on the part of the executive, I don't know who issues the certificate, whether it's the secretary. There is a the office it's not actually doing the work properly the way it should be. There are backlog of members. If we are going to adopt this idea of members showing their certificate and also students registering in their final years, there should also be a response from the secretary in such a way that once a student pays or once a member shows intent of becoming a member by paying, he or she should be issued the certificate immediately. People do ask for this certificate because they want to use it for one thing or the other. And since they need this, it is at that point that we should issue them the certificate and get our money. That will raise lots and lots of money to drive the course that we are going. Instead of when somebody pays, instead of when someone pays, the person will wait ages without getting the certificate for which the person has paid for. Please, the office that is responsible for certificates issuing should please it up. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to call on Miriam Aminu.
Yeah, good evening all.
Please, straight to the point. Don't repeat whatever has been said, please, because of our time.
Yes, I wouldn't repeat. And they've said, I just want to appreciate the leadership of NSM, especially Professor Yerima and Professor Ado for the work well done and others. We appreciate you all. I want to tell you that we at the departmental level, we are going to support you, inshallah, and you are going to succeed. I wouldn't want to repeat anything again. I know we are going to succeed, we are going to get there, and we shall do it by His grace, with God with us. So I want to appreciate you all again. Thank you everyone who has attended this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mariam. Thank you.
So I will call on Mujitaba Bello. Mujitaba Bello. Please, we don't want more questions. More people are raising up their hand because of our time. We cannot accommodate everybody. Mujitaba Bello. Mujitaba Bello. It's not there. I will call on the person using the phone Vivo 2015.
Sorry, Mojita Pabello is one of the technical people. We are working together in Abuja to
not
see
said
that the
anything.
public yeah, if he didn't say anything, it's possible because he's an insider. Okay, you are getting.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Tajuddin Okwemi from Federal University of Akure. Federal University of Akure. Yeah, I want to appreciate our president for his great work. He's doing a lot of things. And the fact that I'm a 100 level student, a fresher, a microbiology student of Technology Akure. But with what I had today, I'm very glad about it because I always feel like I don't know, maybe I'm on the right with what I had today, but it really encouraged me. And then I want to ask whether this information has been passed across all other universities, particularly in my own school, Federal University
Yes,
of
it has been
Technology.
passed across.
Federal University of Technology, Akure especially.
We have representative of your university. Professor Alotukwe is in your university. So the information has been passed across.
Okay, thank you. That's what I want to ask. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I will call on Samson Ikayere. Samson Ikayere has been called before without response. If you don't respond this time again, I will lower your hand. Samson Ikayere.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Please, straight to the point, straight to the point.
All right, sir. The point I want to raise is still on the student registration. We are having the program 3 weeks after the strike is called off, whenever it is. And someone just messaged me again if we can have students registering for NSM. And if that would happen, how soon can we get a certification? So I would DM you, I will message you directly, sir. So I wouldn't want to take our time.
All right, thank you very much. All right. So I'm going to call on Safia Abdulkadir. Safia Abdulkadir. If Safia Abdulkadir is not there, I will call on Ngozi Ella. Please don't repeat what has been said.
Good evening.
Go straight to your point.
Good evening. This is Safia. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. I can hear you loud and
clear. Good evening. Okay, I would like to ask, we made a call concerning a payment we did about the certificate, and I spoke with Professor Yerima. Dr. Usman Zango spoke with Dr. Yerima, Professor Yerima, but we are yet to get a response up till now. It's been like 3 months since December, and we were asked to make a clarification. I don't know where we are standing by now.
Okay, I would like to tell you that I personally supervise those certificates that I backlogged from last year, December, January, February, to the first week of March. And I can assure you that the secretariat has said that everything will be released by this Friday. So if your own is not released by Friday, get in touch with me on Telegram and I'll personally be sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I'll call on Ngozi Ella. Please, by 10 o'clock, we are going to stop. Everybody raising up their hand. I will not be able to entertain everyone. Ngozi Ella.
This is Ngozi Ella. Good evening.
Thank
you, Mr. PLO. You've been doing a very good work.
30 seconds. You have 30 seconds, please.
Okay, sir. I want to ask about the registration and the payment of the levy because I've already registered. That's 2 months back, and I got an email, saying and notifying me about the registration, but I don't know how to go about the payments and the certification. Please, can I get more clarifications about it? Thank you, sir.
Such matter cannot be discussed again because of time. My number has been posted on the chat. Get my number, contact me tomorrow morning, then we'll talk about it because of our time.
All right. Thank you, sir. I believe that this will be a successful one.
All right. Okay. Asira. Please go ahead. Asira.
Good evening, sir.
30 seconds, please.
Yes, like other people have suggested, more publicity should be done. And I want to also suggest that I think our curriculum should be revisited. The curriculum of microbiology should be revisited because we've been having a lot of segregations among our brethren from the medical field, like medical lab scientists. I think I don't know what they're feeling like our curriculum is not good enough to competing with them. So I suggest our curriculum should be revisited. More things should be added to really equip us for the tasks ahead. That's my humble suggestion. More publicity.
Thank you very much. Your suggestion is noted. These have been suggested on our Telegram page, and it will also be effective. Thank you very much. You can lower your hand and mute yourself. Mohammed Abdul from Kaduna State University. I've asked you to talk before, you didn't talk. If you don't talk now, there's no time. Please go ahead. Mohammed Abdul, Kaduna State University. Mohammed Abdul from Kaduna State University. If it's not there, I'm asking Manuel Ben. Manuel Ben. Go ahead, please. Manuel Ben.
Yes. This is
30
Manuel Ben.
seconds, please. 30 seconds, please.
Yeah, I will not spend
Don't
up to
repeat what
30
has been said.
seconds. Yes. Please, I will go straight to the registration issue. My school, this is the first time I'm hearing about the registration. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Olusegun Agagu University of Science and Technology, Okitipupa. I don't know if NSM have any representative in that school at all. I don't know.
Okay, please direct some of these questions on our Telegram group. The link to the Telegram group will be posted. Before we end this session, I will repost it. When you join the Telegram group, some of these suggestions you can make. Please, if you have any related suggestions that can be discussed there, I suggest you just lower your hand. Let the conversation continue on our Telegram group. Then I will call on Kadri Olalekan. We have 1 minute to go. Kadri Olalekan. Not there. Uka Emmanuel John.
Hello, Kadri is here.
Please go to your point. Go straight to your point. 30 seconds, please.
My name is Kadri Olalekan.
Go ahead.
Federal Medical
Please go ahead. You have 30 seconds.
Yes. Leave. God bless.
Kadri Olalekan, you are not audible, please. You are not audible, please. I will ask that Uka Emmanuel, please.
Hello, good evening. Can everybody hear me? Good evening.
Yeah.
Yes, good evening. Good evening. Yes, I'm okay, Emmanuel John by name from.
Hello. Good evening.
Emmanuel. Okay, can we have Sheol to please go ahead, Sheol.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
I actually joined late, but sir, can we have a kind of a documented form of this meeting that had gone earlier for those of us
This
who joined?
meeting is transmitted live on YouTube. So a link will be dropped. You can go to the YouTube and listen to it again.
Okay.
We are
thank you,
streaming
sir.
live on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, means it has been recorded on the YouTube, right?
Yes.
What's the address? As in,
it will be posted on our Telegram. The same link, if you look, the link that you use in joining, the same link is available on YouTube.
oh, okay.
Thank you. I think, okay, the last person here, Fumilayo. Fumilayo is not with audio, you cannot say anything. The Uka Emmanuel, you are saying something before, please complete your conversation before we round up.
Yes. All right. I was saying that, like in my school, we're actually not aware of anything. I'm complaining to the government. But then I want to suggest that the certificate of a should be made mandatory to all the students and the staffs from that are studying microbiology. or that are microbiologists. And then in terms of students, I think if the certificate is made compulsory to them, in terms of graduation, as you're graduating, before you get a job, you must present the certificate for MSN before you can get maybe job in any field. I think that would be actually better, and it will boost
That will be
the
done.
morale of
That is after we
students in the
get
society.
that is after we get a legal binding when we have legalized as a professional. That will be effected. Thank you very much. Lastly, I think the other people here, they are just Galaxy A32, Infinix Alt 10. These are without name. Please, next time you are joining a meeting like this, ensure that you use your name. Use your name so that you can be properly addressed. So Galaxy A32.
Yes.
30 seconds.
Yes, thank you. This is Professor Mrs. Ebele Ume speaking from Benue State, from actually from University of Agriculture, Makode, now known as Joseph Sawantaka University. I wish to thank Professor Yerima and Professor Osita Obogo, Professor Ifoma Emwane. I wish to thank all of you for a good job.
Thank you very
well
much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Infinite Ox 10. Please, can you unmute yourself and go ahead?
Hello. Good evening. Good evening.
Go straight to the point.
I am Stanley Wakama. I'm actually. I also want to appreciate Professor Yerima, then my lecturer and mentor, Professor Stoborg. I am actually from Upper State College of Health Sciences.
Okay, thank you.
I want to believe that. Okay.
We have no time for appreciating, please. We want comment and suggestion. Please, thank you, everybody. No more, there's no more questions. I've actually attended to everyone. And I'm going to drop the Telegram link on the chat on this Zoom. I will drop the website link too. Please don't send the link to people who are not microbiologists, because we have suffered from scammers and people that had people to other platforms that's not relevant to our platform, and they scam them. So once the link is dropped, ensure that you use the link only for yourself and anyone that you know is a microbiologist. So I'll drop the link on our Telegram so you can join the Telegram and make your contribution there. This meeting, like the president said, will continue. This is not the last meeting. Another meeting will be scheduled by next week. And information about this meeting will be disseminated on our social media platform. You can follow us on Twitter, you can follow us or join our Facebook group. We are also on Instagram. But I can tell you that Facebook and Telegram and Twitter are very active. So you can join this platform and also follow us on information. Thank you very much. Before I close this meeting, I will drop the link for everyone to have access to it. I have posted my number previously. I will also post my number again. And you can also follow me on Twitter if you want. It's up to you. So thank you very much. So thank you everyone for joining in. I will wait for some few minutes for you to copy the links, for you to copy the number and every other information that you want to copy. Every other direct messages can be sent to my WhatsApp or to the Telegram. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you very much. This meeting will officially come to an end.